Let us now talk about sexuality in organisms. In plants or in higher plants, there are two different terms. One is unisexual or dioecious and other is bisexual or monoecious. Unisexual plants are those plants which are having male and female sex organs present on different plants. That means male and female flowers are different. They are dioecious basically. And on the other hand, bisexual plants, they are those which are monoecious. That means single plant bearing both the type of sex organs or single flower having both the types of sex organs. Right? But in case of fungi and lower plants, there are two different conditions. Homothallic condition, which is similar to monoecious condition, and heterothallic condition, which is similar to dioecious condition. Homothallic condition means the sex organs, they are present on single thalli, right? And heterothalli means they are present on different thalli. So examples, now let us talk about examples. The examples of bisexual condition are, bisexual condition is monoecious condition, so it includes coconuts and cucurbits, but dioecious condition include papaya and date palm. In case of flowers, if it consists of only male reproductive organ, it is called as staminate flower. Because if it consists of only stamens, it is a male flower and it is called as staminate flower. And if it consists of only female reproductive organ, then it is called as pistillate flower. Right? In case of animals, there are two different conditions, unisexual and bisexual. Again, unisexual are those which have both male and female sex organs in different individuals. For example, human and cockroach. In case of bisexual condition, both male and female sex organs are present in single individual. They are monoecious or they are hermaphrodites. For example, earthworm, sponges, tapeworm, and leech. Now let's talk about cell division during gamete formation. As cell division is important phenomena during the gamete formation, so there are two different types of divisions, mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis is the division in which chromosome numbers remain same. There is no change in the chromosome number. But meiosis is the division in which chromosome number is reduced to half. So meiocytes are the cells in which during gametogenesis, meiosis takes place. They are the basically germinal epithelium cells or gamete mother cells which undergo meiosis to form haploid gametes. Right? Next is gamete transfer. Now once the gametes are formed, they need to be transferred. The male gametes are motile, they are produced in large numbers, so they have to transfer and approach the female for fertilization. So the next step after the formation of gametes is the transfer of male gametes to the female, because so that female gamete can be fertilized. In case of plants, the process of transfer of male gametes from anther to stigma of female is called as pollination, and it occurs through several agencies like air, water, insects, etc. In case of animals, the process of transfer of male gametes to the female body is called as copulation, that is mating. Now let's talk about the second event of sexual reproduction, that is fertilization. Fertilization is the process of fusion of male and female gametes. It is also called as syngamy, which is the actual fusion of the nuclei of male and female gamete. Fertilization always results in the formation of diploid zygote. And because the gametes are haploid, zygote is always diploid, and it is the only single cell which gives rise to the multicellular embryo and the complete organism later on. Now, there are some cases where the organisms are formed without fertilization. Such process is called as parthenogenesis, and example is honeybee. In honeybee, drones are formed without fertilization. They are formed parthenogenetically, and in turkey bird or in some lizards, parthenogenesis takes place. Depending upon the site of syngamy, fertilization is divided into two types: internal fertilization and external fertilization. The fertilization which takes place inside the body of the female is called as internal fertilization. Such organisms, such females give birth to young ones. So they are called as viviparous. For example, human beings. In this type of fertilization, less number of individuals are formed and there is parental care, so the offsprings, they are safer and fertilization is sure. But in case of external fertilization, where the fusion takes place outside the body of the female, it can take place in water or mud, etc. The offsprings, they lay, the organisms lay eggs and the offsprings are formed outside the body. They are oviparous. For example, frog and fishes. In this case, more number of individuals are formed, but there is no parental care. So this is a reason why the offsprings formed due to external fertilization or the offsprings formed to oviparous animals, they are at greater risk as compared to the offsprings formed to the viviparous organisms. The fertilization is not sure even because it is only a chance factor. The eggs can be destroyed by their enemies in water or mud. Enemies can destroy the eggs. So fertilization is rare in external fertilization, right? Let's talk about post-fertilization event. It is the third event of sexual reproduction. It includes all the events which takes place after the fusion of gametes. It includes zygote formation and embryo formation. So first of all, zygote is formed. As I have already told you that zygote is a diploid single cell which is formed after the fusion of male and female gamete. So it is basically a vital link between the organisms, which ensures the continuity of the species between the organisms of one generation and the next. After this, zygote undergoes several repeated mitotic cell divisions to form multicellular structure called as embryo, and the process is called as embryogenesis. Zygote finally leads to embryo, which is converted into offspring. But in case of plants, after fertilization, ovary get transformed into fruit, the ovules get transformed into seeds, petals, sepals shed off or wither away. But in some cases, sepals may persist, like you can see in brinjal and tomato, sepals persist. The wall of ovary becomes the wall of root and is called as pericarp. So in this way, several events takes place in the multicellular organisms. Now we have finished the topic of sexual reproduction. I hope you have understand. Just go through your notes once. Thank you.